At a time when passenger rail travel was at an all-time low, the railroads of the United States were faced with the formidable challenge of maintaining ridership, while also dealing with plummeting stock prices due to the Great Depression. The Chicago, Milwaukee, St. Paul and Pacific Railroad, better known as the Milwaukee Road, found itself at the center of the dilemma, with a seemingly endless decline in ridership. The early 1930s found the Milwaukee Road, the Burlington Route, and the Chicago and Northwestern Railroads fiercely competing for the fastest service between Chicago, Illinois, and Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota, which at the time was deadlocked amongst the three railroads at 400 miles in 10 hours, averaging only 40 miles per hour. Newer equipment of some kind was going to be needed to shorten the existing schedule. The Milwaukee Road solution was simple: streamlining, and lots of it. By introducing new aerodynamic concepts and stainless steel sheeting, the train would take on a stylish look of the future. The railroad's West Milwaukee shops designed and produced 6 all-welded, low-profile passenger cars with improved 4-wheel roller-bearing trucks, resulting in 35% less weight and much more economical operating costs. The 6-car lash-up consisted of a tip-top-tap buffet lounge car, 3 coaches, a parlor car, and a beaver tail parlor observation car. Both the interiors and exteriors were embellished and painted in a colorful gray, orange, and maroon paint scheme designed by Otto Kohler. The choice of motive power for this cost-saving consist was rather unusual, though. While most railroads had long since moved on to more powerful 462 Pacifics and 464 Hudson types, or even newer experimental diesels, the Milwaukee Road chose to go with a locomotive that hadn't been produced in nearly 20 years. A 442 Atlantic. Completed on April 30th, 1935 by Alco, the result was the most powerful Atlantic type ever built, and reportedly the first steam locomotive designed to reach 100 miles per hour on a daily basis. Designated as the A Class, number 1 sported very distinctive streamlined shrouding, also designed by Otto Kohler, a feature she would retain throughout her entire 16-and-a-half-year career. The reduction of reciprocating mass was a major goal with the configuration of the locomotive. A 300 psi boiler pressure, smaller 19 by 28-inch cylinders, and 84-inch drive wheels, with the main rods connecting to the first driver axle rather than the second, all combined to reduce piston speeds and made higher running speeds less taxing on the running gear. To cut down on servicing time while en route, the locomotive was designed as an oil burner. And because the train was scheduled to run at higher speeds, the locomotive was also equipped with a Leslie A125 air horn. With the completion of engine number 2 and another matching 6-car consist soon to follow, the Milwaukee Road would now be equipped for the 1935 adjusted timetable of 422 miles in just 7 hours. The Hiawatha had been born. The inauguration of the new Hiawatha service commenced on Wednesday, May 29th, with a grand dedication ceremony at the Minneapolis depot. Locomotive number 2, along with train number 100, simmered gracefully while the crowds gathered around. Mayor Daniel W. Hone was also on hand to take part in the celebration. At noon, with 2 blasts of the horn, tens of thousands of man-hours over the last year all come to fruition as train number 100 begins to inch forward, officially beginning Hiawatha service. At Hastings, Minnesota, the train slams across the CB&Q at St. Croix Tower. New Lisbon, Wisconsin marks the halfway point on today's run. Here the tender will be quickly topped off and a new crew will take control of the train. Approaching Wisconsin Dells, speed is back up to 60 miles per hour as the train thunders across the Wisconsin River and past the station. Pewaukee Lake provides the backdrop as the train speeds east towards Hartland, Wisconsin. Running 2 minutes late, the train makes up time racing at over 1.5 miles per minute under the Techney overpass. The end of the line is nearly in sight as the train, now running 3 minutes early, makes its way through the Milwaukee Road's West Avenue yard. At 7:28 and 17 seconds, train number 100 concludes the first official run of the Hiawatha. Although today's run is over, this marks the beginning of a service that 3/4 of a century later still exists to this day through Amtrak. Locomotive number 2 would go on to pull the Hiawatha for 16 more years, fully shrouded and wearing the iconic paint scheme she was constructed with. She would make her final run on November 9th of 1951. For more information on the Hiawatha and other models available for Train Simulator, visit K&L Trainz online at www.kltrainz.com. Thanks for watching.